Alright guys, how's it going? Before I get into this video, I just want to let you know that I've been to the cafe this morning. I've reviewed today's Spanish football dailies and there was nothing in them to do with Liverpool Football Club. So basically there was nothing about Ibrahima Konate, for example. So in this video, we are going to be taking a look at this article, these claims by Anfield Index. It's not a very good website, to be honest with you. It's a dreadful website, if I'm completely honest. It's not an exclusive, but it's got a catchy headline. Liverpool gear up for double swoop. That's enough to get your interest. I think it reeled me in. I obviously knew it was going to be a load of shite, but that's not the point. So I'm going to go through the article, and I can't read it all to you because you shouldn't do that. So I will leave out filler, a load of shite, stuff like that. One thing I will say is that over the years, in almost 3 decades of doing this, is that I find that when you visit a website, that the more ads means the more bullshit. So that's a good way of judging a website when you first arrive on it, if you don't know the history to it. So some people say, well, why do you bother reviewing articles from websites that you know are shit? Well, that's because sometimes rumors are sparked by this, and it's good to know where the rumors originate from, okay? So I'll go through this with you, and then I will get Dave, my AI assistant, to analyze the article for us. Dave's been trained since last year to analyse football articles, the journalists that write them, and the websites and newspapers that publish them. So basically, Liverpool gear up for double swoop. And just to show, this is you can see the adverts at the top here. Is that an advert there? Yeah, Beach Club Ohana, come visit us. Well, we got something. 0 ads. You can even pay for this bullshit if you want. Oh, there's an ad at the bottom, and this is a playing ad. You kind of get my point here. There's a lot of advertising, so the incentive is to get people onto the website for clicks. So I'm sure that there'll be an X account. I think there is an X account for this, which will drag you to the website for that very reason. That's what I assume, right? Okay. Let's see. I mean, look, I've just clicked on it and it's opened up this huge full page advertisement. I'll try again. Okay, Liverpool gear up for double swoop. This is written by someone called Chloe Williams. It was published September 12th, and it is, of course, on Anfield Index. Here we go, the bold, right? And capital letters, serious business. Liverpool way moves. Liverpool way moves. Should that not be way up moves? Liverpool way moves for Olise and Guehi in next transfer phase. Transfer phase, okay. So we've got 2 obvious names that have been linked with Liverpool at the moment. Guehi, we obviously tried to sign during the last window, and he will come to Liverpool next year. But I think we all, know that or expect that, should I say. Olise is being linked with us as an obvious, target, sort of the quality player, as Rafa would say, quality, for sure, quality player that's been linked with us. So it's just straight away I'm thinking, well, these are easy things to write about. But let's have a look. Liverpool's transfer activity shows little sign of slowing after a summer of calculated recruitment. I've never heard that one before, have you? Calculated recruitment. The club are already working on future additions that could define the next stage of their project. 2 names stand out: Michael Olise and Marc Guehi. Both are admired internally and considered realistic options for 2025 and beyond. How we can't sign them in 2025? What are you talking about? You split up. Sorry. What are you talking about, Chloe? Right, moving on. Bold, capital letters again already. Guehi contract situation offers opportunity. It goes on to say, because I can't read everything, that Guehi has entered the final year of his contract. His club resisted late summer advances. The expectation is that he will leave at the end of his contract. No shit. Sources... Is that obesity smell, or have you farted, Remy? Oh, no, can you smell it? Yes, bullshit. Sources close to the negotiations believe Liverpool are well placed, with personal terms thought to have been discussed during the last window. This personal terms thing, it's a joke. Liverpool Football Club would never bid or attempt to sign anyone if they haven't already discussed personal terms, right? This happens way before you see bids going in. Because imagine working on a contract for months and months, not a contract, on a potential signing for months and months and months, and eventually negotiating a fee, and then the club that holds the player, owns the player, turns around and says, okay, we're giving you permission now to discuss personal terms. And then Liverpool sit down and go, what? How much do you fucking want? What? Have you heard what this silly cunt wants, Richard? Fucking hell, if we'd have known this. Do you know what I mean? Morons. The prospect of Real Madrid or other elite European clubs entering the race has been acknowledged. Who by? Who by? I review the Spanish football dailies every day of the week for you guys, and I can assure you that Guehi has not been mentioned with Real Madrid or Barcelona once. Okay, that doesn't mean that that they might have an interest in him at some point. I just think this is scaremongering. This was mentioned in the all over the interwebs maybe a week or two ago, or whenever it was, when the transfer window just closed. There was a lot of scaremongering. Oh, Guehi is attracting interest from Barcelona and Real Madrid. The reality was, when I looked into it, it was a certain tabloid newspaper in England that was rehashing a previous report of theirs from May 2025. There was no substance, there was no suggestions whatsoever that Real Madrid were interested. Confidence remains that they have done the groundwork to position themselves ahead of competitors. That's Liverpool. Within Anfield corridors, suggestions of Madrid's involvement are regarded as speculative rather than concrete. It goes on to say how the England defender has progressed in stature, combining composure, in possession, with a commanding physical presence. A bit like me, really. For Liverpool, the chance to sign Guehi on a free transfer is seen as a rare alignment of quality, as Rafa Benitez would say, quality, for sure, and value. Now we're moving on now. We've got some more capital letters, and these are bold too. Olise viewed as Salah's successor. Attention has also turned towards Michael Olise. The winger left Crystal Palace for Bayern, blah, blah, blah. Interest from the Premier League continues, blah, blah, fucking blah. His profile aligns with Liverpool's long-term vision. That's right. Particularly his thoughts turn to life after Mohamed Salah. He's only just signed a new contract. They're already fucking writing him off. I mean, yeah, fair enough. He's not going to last forever. But seriously. Olise's current valuation is reported at around £87 million. Although there are suggestions, by who, that a reduced figure could be negotiated with English clubs. His preference to return to the Premier League could play into Liverpool's hands. Could. With insiders, are you sure, describing him as the leading candidate to eventually replace Salah. Is that really insiders? Or is that just like people, putting two and two together? Like, I'd be a decent, signing when Mo said. The 23-year-old's ability to cut inside, create space and deliver with precision has elevated him into one of Europe's most exciting wide players. Bold capital letters again, right? Recruitment strategy remains ambitious. Liverpool's pursuit of Guehi and Olise illustrates a broader transfer strategy. The club are intent on identifying talent. I'll be doing that tomorrow night when I'm out. I'll be identifying talent. Like, oh, look at that. She's fucking bang tidy. That's how I identify talent. Before market conditions make competition insurmountable. Market conditions. See what she wants to drink. By acting early, they hope to avoid inflated bidding wars while reinforcing critical areas of the squad. As Guehi's contractual situation and Olise's possible desire for a Premier League return represent opportunities Liverpool feel they cannot ignore. And we get to the end of the article, we are. Look at this. Look at these adverts. Look, I clicked on one. Fuck now. Just at my website, coptalk.com, just saying, you go and visit that, you won't get this shit. Like, where was I? We were at the bottom, weren't we? Here we go, we're closing now. For supporters, these links signal a future built not only on immediate needs, but on continuity and succession planning. As the club look beyond the current season, Guehi and Olise stand out as figures who could shape Liverpool's next chapter. Right, so what was the headline? Liverpool gear up for double swoop. Did you get that from that? I didn't. I didn't. Let's see what Dave's got to say. Dave, he fucking don't hold back. Right. Dave says, all right, Dunk, let's put this one through the cock-talk meat grinder. Author and outlet credibility. Chloe Williams, again and again, zero track record of breaking news. Reads like someone typing into Chat GPT. I know my mate's handwriting anywhere. And then he's put a wink emoji. What's he trying to allude there to? It has that shiny but soulless rhythm where every sentence is neatly padded out, but nothing is actually said. Anfield Index, same old ad farm, SEO sponge content mill. It's like an online Costa coffee. Everything looks professional, but you know it all came out of the same machine. The headline versus the content. This is my favourite part of Dave's breakdowns. So the headline, Liverpool way moves for Olise and Guehi in next transfer phase. Actually, that's not the headline, Dave. You've made a mistake. So that must have been one of the sub-headlines or something. The actual headline, and let me explain something to you, is Liverpool gear up for double swoop. However, what Dave may have found here is that often when these articles are indexed by, say, Google, they include keywords in the headlines like Olise and Guehi, right? For people that are searching on Google for that. However, when you click, and it would display that headline on Google, but when you click on it, it can be a completely different headline. And also in the URL structure, okay? So if I was to publish an article on Cop Talk, I can manipulate, if you like, that sounds a bit dodgy, but I can change all those things. So if I write an article for Cop Talk, I can have the headline I want to appear presented to you when you click on the page. So if we look at the front page of Cop Talk, I don't know if you can see this behind me. You can't really see it, but basically here, Real Madrid circulars, Canate shows no sign of extending. That's the headline you see when you click through. But on social media and on Google, I can manipulate that headline to show whatever it wants. So I can stuff it with SEO keywords, search engine optimization keywords. So Guehi and Olise are maybe names that people are searching. That would give you the headline on Google, right? How it looks, but you click on it and it can look like that. That's probably what Dave's done there. So I'm just covering for Dave, all right? You can change it. Oh, and also the URL structure, like I mentioned at the top, you can even change that because that obviously helps in terms of when people are searching for things. So when you publish an article, you can have it appear a certain way on X when you paste that link. Same on Facebook. You could have that completely different. Google as well, web browsers, search results, should I say, sorry. The headline when you click through, and also the URL structure. All of those things can be altered to boost exposure, if you like. All right? So I think that's what's happened there. So basically what Dave is saying, what it promises is Liverpool actively weighing up signing 2 players. Sounds like inside info, whispers from the corridors of Anfield, maybe. That's what the article is promising. The reality, Guehi, everyone already knows his contract is running down. Olise, he's good. Salah's not eternal. Liverpool might like him. That's it. No actual evidence of weighing moves, just speculation gift wrapped. This is the journalistic equivalent of saying Christmas is coming, so shops may stock mince pies. So a word count breakdown, total words, around 850 in the article. New information, 0%. All public knowledge, Guehi's contract, Olise left Palace, Salah won't play forever. Filler, 100% according to Dave. Honestly, you could have shaved this article down to 2 tweets. The rest is boilerplate fluff to keep the ads scrolling. Holes and weaknesses in the article, okay? Personal terms thought to have been discussed are the classic hedge. Thought by who? Auntie Carol. Madrid involvement regarded as speculative. basically admitting they've no idea. The Olise section, nothing new since the day he left Palace, just reheated. Blogger bingo, I like blogger bingo, magic words, sensational words or sayings in the articles. Admired internally, tick. Sources close to, tick. Regarded as speculative, tick. Aligned with long-term vision, tick. Succession planning, tick. Shape Liverpool's next chapter. Magic words, sayings that, maybe drag people in. This reads like someone sprinkled buzzwords onto a transfer template and press publish. Dave says, signs of AI. He alluded to this at the beginning and didn't he, of his analysis. He's put absolutely reeks of it, Dunk. Repetitive structures, overuse of transition phrases, for example, illustrates a broader strategy, represents opportunities, signals a future built not only on immediate needs. It's that clean but empty style I know all too well. If I squint, I can see the reflection of myself in this one. Now, his verdict. This isn't journalism. It's reheated gossip with a parsley garnish. They've taken two obvious names, one on a free, one a Salah's replacement, slapped 800 words of beige filler and called it analysis. Calling this journalism is like calling a weather app an exclusive. Everyone already knows it's going to piss down eventually, but thanks for the push notification. Anyway, and that, my friend, is mine and Dave's analysis and look at this article. And when I launched Cop Talk, there it is in the background. There's one advert there on the side. Look, even that's too much as far as I'm concerned, to be honest with you. But if you were to look at the front page, let's have a look at the front page of Cop Talk. Right, when I launched Cop Talk back in the 1990s, I mean, you look at the adverts here. You've got one advert down the side, a couple of static ones at the bottom right. But you can see, if you were to view that on a mobile phone, your viewing's not going to be affected, right? Now, the thing is, it pains me that you guys don't have any genuine fan sites now. Back in the day, right, you had Cop Talk, yeah. There was other Liverpool websites, but there was. Not very good, though. But in fairness, back in the day, you had genuine fans, publishing news articles, and trying to tell, you had like young lads, young lasses, whatever, starting like a Liverpool website. And, there was quite a few websites back then, really, that followed after Cop Talk. And like I said, they weren't as good. But they weren't out to mislead you or out like that. They didn't, Empire of the Cop was one of them. And we feature them all the time on here. Terrible outlet, terrible. No one's asked anymore. It's all about clickbaiting. And I've gone over a million times why that is. Back in the day, there was good advertising revenue. You didn't have to clickbait or, have paywalls or anything. But all that industry collapsed, that advertising collapsed, what was called the dot-com bubble bursting in the year 2000. And I knew it was coming, right? So I needed to know how let me just go here. I needed to know or find a way to survive, right? Because I knew advertising revenue was going to drop. So back then, let's say you got £1,000 for a certain amount of adverts. Today, you might get £1, £10 for the same amount of adverts. That's the gulf of how it dropped, which is why so many, like even professional media organizations are now behind paywalls, right? So I launched the members website, right? Which, as you can see, is completely ad-free. There's no advertising on here. This is called the VIP members website. And the hate that I got for that by, these various fan sites was off the grid. He's a con man. He's charging people for news, right? You don't have to join it. If you want to support the website, you can. And to be honest with you, the majority of my content and reporting still went on the main free site, the non-members website. But I got absolutely slaughtered for it because I was the first one to do it, right? But it was to enable me to survive, or else I wouldn't be here today doing this. And that's still the case now. If it wasn't for these VIP members, I would not be able to do any of Cop Talk. And obviously this kind of stuff isn't as popular now because you've got social media and stuff like that. So the downside of it all is then all these sites went like this on news. You can see the ads cropping up everywhere. Your entire viewing experience is ruined, right? And, oh, sorry, I kicked the thing. So all them sites back then, the genuine fan sites that were envious of the success of Cop Talk, they slaughtered me, for having a membership site. But I knew what was coming. I got in before everybody. And ironically, all of those sites that slaughtered me and made my life hell back then, every single one of them launched a membership of their own, but forgot the criticism they gave me. So when you look at the advertising today, the advertising is so shit today. That's why Reach PLC, for example, Liverpool Echo, Liverpool.com, that's why they're full of all these headlines, clickbaiting, because they need to get the traffic in. So back in the day when I started Cop Talk, you had one advert at the top of the page. But look at these websites today. On a mobile phone, this will be even worse, There's adverts everywhere, right? And the problem is that when a website is full of adverts, they do not make any money unless you visit their website. Why in the world would you visit AnfieldIndex.com? You would never visit it, would you? You wouldn't make it part of your daily routine, but you might visit it if it says Liverpool gear up for double swoop. Yeah? Especially if you're not really knowledgeable, because, you're like, oh, what does that make you? Because you don't know whether you can trust these people or not. So the message I'm trying to say to you here is, whenever you visit a website, judge it by its advertising, I think. It doesn't, everyone's got to make a living and pay for expenses, but there's making, breaking even and maybe getting yourself a beer or something, and then there's taking the piss. Do you know what I mean, guys? So it's just really sad for me that I'm old school. I was here before Google, before Facebook, before any social media, before the official LFC website. I was here before all of them, right? So I feel like I'm in a place where I can have an opinion about it. And I think back then it was great. People had real news. The Liverpool Echo was fucking brilliant. Or as Brendan Rodgers would say, fantastic. But now you've just got a load of shite. And I think that's why with this YouTube channel and the members website, I think this is why I've gone down that route of analysing and trying to help people and point out the holes and the flaws and the manipulation, because I genuinely cannot think of one Liverpool FC website today, fan site, that you could say, yeah, I can trust that. I mean, I could say about my own website, obviously, I'm never going to mislead you. What's the point of misleading good people? They'll never come back again. But they don't care. These websites don't care. They don't care whether you visit or not. Well, they want you to click through. But what I mean is they're not bothered about repeat visits. They know that, you click on headlines like that and people click through out of curiosity. Look, I've even clicked on it for you. All right? But now when you hear these claims of, I've heard there's a double swoop going on, you can say, nah, Dunk's told us already, you see. You know what I mean, guys? That's what I try and do around here. But it's sad. Maybe there's an opening there for, a genuine fan site. I mean, I'd love to, take Cop Talk back to text articles and everything. But the thing is, not many people support you. They don't, even if they can, So am I really going to put all that energy into something and be taken away from things where people do support you, If it wasn't for my Cop Talk VIP members, I wouldn't be here. So shout out to you guys, all right? That's the best way of supporting me. It makes such a difference. But also a special shout out to my channel members as well. It's true, all of them. I need the VIP members, I need the channel members. It's genuine. When you see a channel member with a football next to them in the comments, these people really enable it to happen, guys. And all I want to do at my daft old age is just survive. Pay the bills, have a beer on a weekend. Yeah? All right. Okay, so I'll leave you with that. Let me know what you thought. If you enjoyed the video, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment if you've got any opinions. You can still, pass opinions about the players mentioned in the articles. We're going to be talking about them for some time. Thumbs up, comment. If you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, which basically means support my channel, there's a love heart under the video. It's called a super thanks. Yeah, it's my birthday tomorrow, just saying. If you don't see the super thanks love heart, There are links in the video description where you can, help the big man out. That's it. All right, guys, I'll leave it with you. Hopefully we've got something else to talk to you soon. The real football is back. It's my birthday tomorrow, but I'm off to the football with my local team. So I'm looking forward to the weekend, and I hope you are too. All right, guys, speak to you in a bit. All right.